And welcome again to the Building Families and Community Show. Today we're happy to have with us four wonderful guests from the Metro Dolphins Swim Team. And we're going to be talking first with Coach Conte Harris, the man of the hour. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the Dolphin Swim Team. But before he does that, we'd like to introduce our other guests, Miss Catherine Booker and Veronica Summers and Mr. Michael Davies. They're going to also share with us some of their experiences on the Metro Dolphins Swim Team. And you'll find that this team has been around a while and been doing some wonderful things. So, Coach, talk to us a little bit about your educational background and how the team came about.
Yes. First of all, I'm a graduate of Tennessee State University, and I'm a former Tiger shot.
All right.
And I had a wonderful time there at TSU. We were also 1984 Black National School Champions.
Wow. Wow.
And swimming has always been in my blood at a very young age. So upon finishing TSU, I went to work for the city.
Okay.
Metro Nashville government.
Okay.
Supervising their pools.
Okay.
So I was around kids constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still interested in swimming, going to meets and watching swim meets and things of that nature, but what really caught my eye is when I never seen any of the kids that I actually supervised on a day-to-day basis in competitive swimming.
I see.
So that's where the idea first came upon me to be like, these kids can do this if they get somebody behind them.
Some organized training.
Yeah, some organized training and get somebody behind them.
Okay.
So the club was started in 1994 at Pearl High School.
Okay.
That's where we started, right over there in North Nashville. And I started with like 8 kids.
Right. There are so many children in urban areas who seem to not to know what to do with their time. So time management is a huge factor.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. What I like about the sports, if a lot of these kids that I have here with me now, they're in the water 2 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week.
Wow.
And still have to maintain their grades. You got to go to school. You don't go to school, you're not getting in the water.
Coach, I can't be on your team.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's the first thing,
Okay.
And then I let them know, if you want to be good at what you do, you have to be able to work.
Right.
So time-wise, I think the biggest accomplishment that I have, that I enjoy, is to see them getting into the system where they're ready to come in there every day, drop those book bags and pick up those swim bags, and we get at it and try to get better.
Sure, because you have some testimonies here. We have a Vanderbilt, a student of Vanderbilt University here. We have some young people that are in high school now and moving on, and you've had some graduates from college.
Yes.
Some people have earned their master's degrees.
Right. Yeah. We move along real quiet, but when I look around 15 years later and see these kids grow up, and I have one of my former swimmers that's there helping me every day.
Right.
That, like you said, he's a engineer graduate, has his master, and getting all this certification. So when he's ready to move on, he's gone. I have these beautiful young babies here that's growing. One is in Vanderbilt.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We have a young man on his way to Georgia Tech.
Wow.
We have two I call them guppies, up and coming guppies. Michael's a homeschool student, very smart at what he do.
Yes, he is.
And
very
Veronica, the one over there that's cheesing a lot. She hasn't been in there that long, but she's come a long way in a short time, and she's 12-year-old.
Walk softly but carry a big stick.
Yes.
Well, talk to us a little bit about that, Catherine. How's Vanderbilt treating you, first of all?
Very good. They treat me the best that they can. I'd have to say, I have to tell a story. My mom wants me to tell a story. She said that we used to go on vacation all the time. And when we got to the beach or the pool or wherever we were, first thing we would do is just, first thing I would do is I see with water and I want to just jump in it. And it was my grandfather who told her, oh, you need to tell her how to swim or to get her in some lessons or something. So when I was about 3 or 4, I took lessons at the Y. But right after that, after I finished my lessons, we started looking for a swim team. And at the time, I was still involved in other things like gymnastics and cheerleading, but all that ended up dying down, and my main focus became swimming.
I see.
So ever since I joined the team, which was at the age of 4 or 5, all the way up to the time I graduated high school, so it's about 14 years I spent on the team.
Wow.
It was nothing but discipline and dedication. You know, I had my times where I just wanted to give up. That was the end, like, you know. But being able to be in a program that focuses on dedication and training and discipline, all that incorporated into like one person doing it all, and also incorporating academics into it as well, you know. That's some very valuable aspects of an individual in their upcoming years. So I think a lot of my determination to complete a certain thing or get in certain levels came from swimming. You know, I got leadership qualities from swimming. I got some, you know, I had my ups and downs, you know, where some years weren't as good as others, but you know, sticking with it to the end is ultimately what is the greatest outcome, I think, because you get the most out of it. To be able to finish and say, you know, I completed this. I mean, this was my thing that I did growing. That was my passion, was swimming. So, as you said earlier, he does an incredible job incorporating families and parents into the program as well. And I have to say that too, because when I started swimming, my sister saw me swimming, so she wants to swim. And so now she's in the program and she's swimming as well too. And I think that tends to be a lot of what happens. One sibling joins and then the other sibling wants to join or follow in the footsteps of. And then some parents see it too. So they want, I want to take swim lessons too. I want to be able to swim. And it's a lifetime sport. So, you know, even though I've graduated and I'm in school, I can still get in the pool and find a way to exercise every day, put what I've done for so many years still into motion. So, you know, getting parents and other siblings involved is what probably is the best part of this program. It's the family. Everybody's connected. Everybody.
You didn't say nothing about the food, the hot dogs, the children down there. You didn't say nothing about none of that, man. Well, so Veronica, you are a middle schooler. Is it difficult sometimes staying focused in your swimming and your academics and some of the other things middle schoolers do?
Yes, it very is.
Okay. What helps you the most to stay focused on your track with swimming?
My mom and swimming. I know that swimming can release my stress.
Great. You know, there's a lot of young people who walk around look like they just angry at the world. You know, and you ask them what's wrong, they couldn't even tell you. I think you brought a good point that when you can find something to channel your energies, channel that frustration is a great thing. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
This swimming is done so much for me. First of all, you know, I had a couple of older sisters.
Right, that's true.
And my older sister started swimming. And, you know, Dad had taught us to swim when we were young, but he had never taught us competitive swimming. I've known how to swim since I was 3.
Wow.
But I never got into competitive swimming. And Mom thought it was good for me to get into because I have asthma. And she said that'll help your lungs, that'll build you up, you know, it'll make you stronger. And for me, I just saw it as another sport. I'm an athlete. I love all sports, you know. There's not a sport that I won't try. So Mom started us, you know, and every day it was going into like a war, you know, going to battle. I was the youngest one in a small group of us. And it took me a long time to move through the ranks, you know. I started from the bottom. And it's almost better that way. because I had all those big dogs ahead of me, so that I was racing and training every day. Even if I wasn't winning sets, I was getting stronger. And that's always been a thing to help me.
I don't think I ever told you this, but I was at a swim meet. I think it was in Lebanon, Coach. And a gentleman was standing next to me and said, God, he looks like he's floating on water. He was gone, I tell you, man. He was getting it. But, well, that's good. That's good, because a lot of young people, we talk often about the negative things that young people are doing, positive things and talk about the great things that young people are doing there. I know Veronica, her dad, a good man, and he supports her in all of her endeavors. But one thing about it, she was floating on water the other day herself. So it's really a good thing. It's really a good thing, really great thing. So, Catherine, now you were mentioning that your grandfather saw, obviously, a skill. And he encouraged your mother to really tap into that skill. What would you say to other parents who have children who are obviously talented, have a lot of energy, imagination? What would you say to them in terms of encouraging their children to consider something like the aquatics team?
For swimming?
Yes, for swimming.
Oh, I'd say get them in there as early as possible, because first, learning to swim itself has so much to address with the water and the person. I helped my sister teach a swim class this summer, and seeing those kids, and when they're a young age, like between 5 and 10 maybe, and you see them get in the water, and the only thing they're scared about is like either going underwater or so. It's so much. Learning to swim is more than just about survival skills. It's also addressing, the fear of the water too. And that's, the older you get, the more fear that individual is going to have with that water, because they didn't start off at a young age. So
it's a self-confidence thing as well.
Right. You got to build up that, I can do this feeling inside yourself. So for parents who have children who are interested in swimming or have noticed the skill that they might be able to have, my only advice would just to get in there and get them going. Because you never know where it can take you, whether it's competitively or if it's just learning to swim. So I'd say that swimming itself, even though you're on a team, it's still an individual sport as well.
That's the key point there, because I've been trying to tell my daughter, and I appreciate you still in that energy, that you're really beating your own time. Is that right? It's about you not necessarily beating everybody else, but being able to master your own time. That's a good point. I thought about, when you said that, I thought about my daughter, Coach. You remember, she's going to play Shy Baby. And she didn't want to jump off the diving board. I think it was about 14 feet deep water. All of a sudden, boop, there she was. And she's been going ever since. So.
And your wife over there, get her, Coach, get her. Get her.
So, but because I grew up in the inner city of Chicago, and, I told my daughter, we learned to swim by diving off into Lake Michigan. And it's interesting, Michael, because they had these huge signs that were neon in yellow that says, do not dive. But there was this intuitive drive to do it anyway, right? But I said that to say that there's an opportunity for young people to actually learn the skill in a focused way. And I like what you said about down the road, you being able to use some of the discipline to stick to other adventures of your life as well. Coach, explain it to me like I'm 3 years old. You can tell me, my child just can't come in there and do what they want to now?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That dog won't hunt, will it?
No, you don't last. We have different levels, and, once I screen you and you become part of the team, I see some kids coming in and they might see Michael and them group, Catherine and them group. These kids, you're talking about now, Catherine started at 5 years old. Michael was pretty young when he started. Veronica was such a short time, but what do you say, 8?
7, 8.
7. And it takes time to build and learn the skill, and actually move up. So some of them come and join, and they get to watching them in there 2 hours, just going at it, and I was like, no. I like for them to have fun as they go and learn Like this year, we had a pretty good year. Veronica and Mike